Hi guys, today we are going to be talking about text features and how text features help us with informational text. So your objective today is that you will be able to use text features such as graphs, pictures, captions, diagrams, timelines, headings, and such to support your understanding of an informational text. Also, you will be able to explain the author's use of graphic and text features to achieve a purpose in an informational text. So in front of you is the anchor chart for text features and graphic features. Text features present important parts of the text in a different way. The boldface or italic type can show emphasis or indicate a title, so the title. The headings and the subheadings name the topic of each section of the text, so that's a heading. Sidebars are boxed information that adds to the main text, so this would be a boxed information called a sidebar. Captions tell about a picture. So underneath or beside or above or somewhere near the picture, there would be a caption telling you about that picture. And then bullets or numbered lists show main points or examples. Instead of just having it in paragraph form, they might have it in a list form. So they're usually bullets or numbered lists in the text. So graphic features are visuals such as timelines, illustrations, pictures, graphs, maps, and tables that help explain ideas in the text. So timelines show important events in order. So we have, it's in chronological order in the way it happened in history. And then graphs are plot data in a visual way. So you can see the data and see the information very clearly. So those are some examples. This is our anchor chart for the week, or for the standard. But I'm going to show you some other types of nonfiction text features that will you might be using in this assignment. So I'm going to take this down and I'm going to add this. So these are different types of text features. So this is the text feature, the example, and then the purpose of them. So this is where coming in to finding out why the authors may use this text feature and the purpose that they have it for. So the text feature is a photograph. Here's your example. And the purpose was to show a real life image. So the author would use it to show the real life image and what it looks like. The caption, and then here is the caption below, an example. And then the purpose is to tell what a photograph or an illustration is about. So the purpose of the this text feature is to show what the photograph or illustration is about. Okay, so in this text feature is a label. It labels the parts of the actual picture or illustration, and it tells what part of an image is. So it'll tell us that this is the tube, this is the eyepiece, this is the counterweight, this is the primary mirror. So it tells you the parts of an image, and that's the purpose of that feature. A close-up is whenever you take a little part of a big picture and blow it up to make it to where you can see it better. The purpose of that is to show what a piece of an image looks like up close. The cutaway is whenever you take part of it and you pull it away so that way you can see the inside of it. And the purpose of that is to show what something looks like on the inside. So that's why the author might include that. A diagram is where they take the picture and then they label the picture. So these are labels and these are diagrams. They use labels inside a diagram. So in this, the purpose of the diagram is that the labels show the parts of an image. So it's the bigger picture and then the labels. So this shows us what a label is. This shows us how they use the labels. Okay, in a diagram. Okay, in this text feature, the chart and the table, the example is where they have a list of the planets and then the average temperatures. It gives you a very clear picture of what each average temperature is for each planet. So it helps you organize the data. It gives you a clear picture of that data. And then this is a graph. A graph shows the visual format of the data, and it gives you different types of graphs. It gives you different types of information through graphs, the bar graphs, the line graphs, and the pie charts. So that purpose is so it can be very clear to the reader. And then this is a map, and the map just shows locations and it allows the reader to see where something may be taking place. And then the timeline. The timeline gives you chronological order and how things happen, and it tells when events occur and the order it occurred in. So the purpose is to make sure the reader can see and understand the way things occurred. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you're going to use the information we just went over to complete your assignment. So your assignment is that you're going to have a text passage and some questions to answer, and it's based on the text features that you may have just learned about. So you're going to read through your passage, and you're going to label your nonfiction text features, and then you're going to answer your questions based on the text. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to use a colored pencil or a colored pen that you can see very clearly with. So usually we always look at the questions first, but today, for time's sake, just know that when we are learning how to take the test, we would answer the questions first, but today we're going to skip on into just jumping into the text. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my text features. So down here, this is a diagram. Okay, these kind of label the picture or label the illustration. And this is a picture, but I do not have a caption. So I'm going to kind of give it a little quick thing. A picture of clouds. Since I do not have a caption explaining it, I'm going to explain it for myself. And then this is also a picture without a caption. So it's a picture of it raining. So I'm going to put picture of it raining. Okay. And then the last text feature we haven't mentioned is the title. The title is important that we read it, the water cycle. So now that I have my text features labeled, now I'm going to read through the passage. Did you know that a glass of water you drink could be the same water that dinosaurs drank? Earth's water never goes away. It is constantly recycled through the Earth's atmosphere. This is why it is called a water cycle. It never ends. Water falls to the earth as precipitation. Precipitation is rain, snow, or sleet. The water collects on land or in water on earth. Eventually, this water evaporates. Evaporation happens when the sun heats up water and turns it into a gas. The gas is called water vapor. Water vapor goes up into the air. Next, the water vapor gets cold. When it gets cold, it changes back into a liquid, which is called condensation. This is how clouds are made. When clouds have a lot of water, the clouds get heavy. Water falls back to the earth as precipitation. The water cycle never ends. Earth's water has continued through this process for billions of years. Next time you drink a glass of water, imagine all the places that water has been. Okay, I'm going to jump right into the questions. Why is the water cycle never ending? Use the text and the text features to help you. So, water cycle never ending. I'm going to use the text and the text features. So I know that in the text it talks about how it's never ending. So I'm going to go back. It says the water cycle never ends. It talks about it up here. It never ends. But I'm going to look at my diagram. So it's a cycle. And anytime it's a cycle, it just keeps going round and around. So I'm going to say it never ends because it's a cycle. Okay, the diagram shows that it goes from precipitation to evaporation to condensation. And the image that helped me is the diagram. Okay. What stage of water cycle is the first photograph showing? What stage of the water cycle first paragraph. Sorry, photograph. So I'm going to look through each one of my answer choices, and I'm going to look back at the first photograph, which is this one of it raining. So I know that the stages are precipitation, evaporation, and condensation, and it shows that clearly on our diagram. But I know water vapor is not a stage, so I'm going to cross that out. Evaporation, is that what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing rain. I know that evaporation is when the water turns into vapor and goes up. So I know that that is not our answer. Precipitation. I think precipitation might be my answer, but I'm going to double check on my last one. Condensation. Condensation was when all of that water vapor condenses into clouds. So I know it's not condensation. So my answer is C. Precipitation. Okay, when you answer this on the document, since it's online and you can't do everything I'm doing, just there's a box for you to click your answer in there. Just put your answer in that box, and that's good enough. You do not have to do all of that because that is not something you can do with the situation we're in. Next question. What stage of the water cycle is the second photograph? Keep on saying paragraph. The second photograph. So the second photograph is all these clouds. I know, again, water vapor is not a stage of the water cycle. Evaporation is when the water turns into a gas and floats into the air, and we can't really see that. So this, I can see stuff, so I know it's not evaporation. Precipitation is when we see the water falling, whether snow, sleet, or rain, and it's not falling. So it has to be D. D, condensation. And so I can see all of that using this diagram. Explain what happens during the evaporation stage of the water cycle. Now this is something I'm going to have to go back into the text for. So I know they talk about the different, in this main paragraph right here. It says evaporation happens when the sun heats the water and it turns into a gas. I'm going to write that out. Okay, so the sun heats the water and it turns it into a gas called water vapor. Next question. In the stage of, which stage of the water cycle, remember we're doing water cycle, does the water vapor get cold and change back into a liquid? Oh, okay. So I know that snow is not a stage of the water cycle, so I can cross that out. Evaporation is when it gets hot and goes back up, so it's not changing back into a liquid, it's changing into a gas. Precipitation, that might be my answer because I know when water vapor gets cold, it goes into, could be rain, sleet, or snow, so I'm going to think that maybe my answer is C, but I'm going to go make sure D is not my answer. D, condensation. Condensation is when the water vapor forms clouds, so it's not changing into a liquid. So I'm going to say not D, I'm going to say my bad. It is actually not C because it's the water vapor gets cold and then changes back, and that is our condensation. So condensation is my answer. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. And now I'm going to answer my last question. What happens to water after it rains? So that's something I have to go back into the text and find. So I know that here it talks about precipitation. It rains, snows, or sleets. The water collects on land or in water on earth. So it collects on land or in water on earth. Okay, so that is how I used the text features and the text to help me answer my questions. Guys, your answers are in the text. They're right there in front of you. You just need to go back into the text and find your answers, whether it's through the text features or into the actual text. It is not something that that you have to just guess on. You can find your answer. use those text features, use the text, get your answers. On this assignment, you are not going to be able to do everything I did because you're not going to, some of you may be able to print it out, but in order to submit it to me, you have to just submit it online. So just answer in the text boxes where it says click here to type here, type in your answer, and then keep answering all of them. Once you have done that, then you can submit, hit the submit button, and it will come to me. Guys, I hope you're having a good time. Stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, and most of all, stay healthy. Miss y'all.